I'm Amy Baumgarten, and I'm here at Finetune Pilates Studio in Brooklyn, New York. And today we're going to do a pre- and postnatal workout for the busy mom. This is perfectly safe for anyone in during their pregnancy and afterwards. So this is just to warm up your abdominals and stretch out a little bit. So we're going to begin with some breathing. And both before and after pregnancy, a lot of times the breathing muscles, the diaphragm, gets stuck. So we want to start by really getting into the breath. You're going to place your hands, we'll be sitting. You're going to place your hands right around your rib cage with your thumb wrapped on back. You're going to take an inhale and let your rib cage expand into your hands like this. And then when you exhale, let those ribs relax and come together and drop down towards your pelvis. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhaling and exhaling. Taking your time. And now we're going to go to the belly. You can place your hands on your belly, and we're going to inhale into the abdomen, allowing your hands to move freely. And exhale, the belly is going to fall backward toward the spine, just gently, without any effort. And one more. Relaxing the abdomen. And our third breath is going to go down into the pelvic floor. So I'm sure we all are familiar with that area. You're going to send a breath down into your seat. And as you exhale, just relax, letting all those muscles release. Again, as you inhale, feel the pelvic floor widen with breath. Now that we've woken up those 3 parts, we can get into some transverse pulsing. So the transverse abdominal is that deep layer of abdominal that once it's really connected to your spine, everything else can feel supported, and your posture is much more effortless. You don't have to use your bulky muscles to hold you up. So you're going to inhale again right into your abdomen. And this time, as you exhale, you're going to blow the air out through your mouth. At the same time, pull your stomach backward into your spine without collapsing your spine. So we'll try that again. Inhale. And as you exhale, pull the belly in really deeply without changing your back. You're sitting up nice and tall. Again, inhale. Belly expands forward. And as you exhale, without moving your back, you can even place your hand on your back. Blow out through the lips and let that transverse sink inward. So now you're going to inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to pull all the way in and hold. Don't change that. We're going to count together for 30 counts. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count out loud. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Are you holding it in? 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Inhale, let your belly go. How'd you do? Were you able to hold it in the whole time? So the next one we're going to do is a pulsing. So the same beginning. We'll do it together. You're going to inhale. Belly expands, and on your exhale, pull the stomach into the spine, making sure the back didn't change. This time when you inhale, only let the air out and your belly out a little bit, like halfway. Don't let it expand all the way forward. Then you're going to exhale and pull all the way back to the spine, and that's 1. You're going to inhale, just halfway up. Exhale, pull in 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. If you count out loud, it helps really activate the transverse. So let's say this is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's do 10 more. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale and let that all relax. So we got through the abs. You can also do this. I'm going to change to hands and knees. You can also do this, if this feels comfortable for you, in this position. So you can expand the belly and you can pull up and in without curving the back over. So in this position, let's just do a count of 10 pulses together. So that way you can get a sense of it and you can do it on your own. So with your head reaching forward, your tail reaching backward, your hands are right underneath your shoulders, and your knees are right underneath your hip sockets. We're going to let the belly expand toward the floor. Exhale, let it pull all the way up and in. Now you're going to inhale halfway out. Exhale, pull up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Inhale, let the belly completely expand and rest. So from this position, just tuck your toes under and stretch backward. You're going to stretch the bottoms of your toes here. Especially pregnant ladies, be careful with this because we want to make sure we don't get any calf cramping. So anytime you're in hands and knees, just tuck your toes under. So we'll stretch back, our hips go back, and we're stretching underneath the toes. So let's just take a nice inhale. And now come back to sitting. Those transverse pulses, you can do the holding for a count of 30 twice a day, and you can do the pulsing for a count of 30 twice a day. And you can do them in any position, sitting, standing, or hands and knees. So next, let's do a side bend. So again, sitting nice and tall, it's so important to get mobility in the thoracic spine when you have either you're carrying a load inside or outside with those babies on your arms. So you're going to have your I guess it would be your left hand on the floor and your right arm up to the ceiling. You want to try and lift that arm up as much as you can and make space all the way along your side seam. So right away, I want to pull that transverse in so that the belly doesn't flop out and I extend my lower back, creating more pressure there. So keeping the belly in, you're going to side bend over. I'm keeping my arm and my head close together to stretch out the intercostal muscles between all of my ribs. And you're going to take a nice breath into the diaphragm, the first breath we did together. Transverse draws in on the exhale. And then stack your spine. You're going to bring that arm down and we'll switch sides. So first of all, lifting up, creating lots of space along this side. Arm is close to the head, and dive over to your side, trying to keep your eyes and nose pointing straight ahead. You're going to inhale into the rib cage. Exhale, the transverse draws in tightly. You can do 1 or 2 breaths here, whatever is comfortable for you, and then bring yourself up. So now you can use either a door frame, and we're going to use the top of the Cadillac here, but you can get creative with something for traction. So with all that upper body tightness, this is meant to address that. With either a door jamb or, as we are here with the Cadillac, you're going to bring your arms up above that door jamb or above the bar here. And I'm just going to lean my chest forward, not too intensely so that I strain anything in my shoulders, but just enough to really get a lift up and out of my rib cage, allowing my thoracic spine to decompress. So you can, again, just take a few breaths here, keeping your transverse active. We're going to do one more breath together. Nice work. So now we're going to transition to the wall. So you can pause this video and find your next place on the wall. So now once you're here at the wall, it doesn't have to be a lot of space, just enough for your hand really. We're going to do something called the nerve glide. So for all that upper neck tension and shoulder tension, this is a great one. You'll start with your hand against the wall, and you want to line your shoulder up with your hand. This already feels pretty intense to me. This is not really a muscle stretch, it is a nerve stretch. So you might feel some tingling, you might feel some shooting, I don't want to call it pain, but you might feel a little energy and tightness there. So be easy with this. You shouldn't push too hard. Make it a soft movement and a soft position that you have here. So if this feels good, you can stay here. To add more intensity to it, you're going to let your head bow the other way. And as you do that, you're going to feel that shoot down through your arm into your palm, and just let the head come up again. And you'll go back and forth a few times. Not making it only a few times, so we don't want to overdo this. 3 is my favorite number, so I'll do 3. And then from here, tipping your head again. Now turn your chin towards your shoulder and back. And then after 3 or so, bring your head up and shake out your hand. And we'll do the other side. So you'll see the other frame, so what it looks like from the back. This side is so much tighter for me. You'll probably feel one side tighter. Twisting the head. Staying within your comfort level. And shaking out that arm. So then we have the calf stretch. So important for all pre and postnatal ladies. You have your wall. You'll just extend one leg behind you, facing the wall. And you'll just lean forward into that stretch. Try to keep your heel down and your toes lengthening on that back foot. You can stay here as long as you like, maybe 30 seconds, perhaps 5 breaths, whatever you're comfortable with. And then we'll switch. Trying to relax the front of my ankle, so I'm not tightening to pull forward. You can do that a few times. Feel free to pause this video if you'd like to do it again. And then the final pose for us, this is something that's really great for all busy people, but especially moms and moms-to-be. So we just did our calf stretch, and we're now going to do our final pose. Now, for some of you, this might not be comfortable to lay flat on your back, so you can add a bunch of pillows or some kind of wedge, something that helps you feel like you're not completely flat. For those of you in your third trimester, you might only do this for a few moments. This is always up to your discretion. So you might come out of this before the rest of us do. Now, always when you're coming down onto your back, and this is for those ladies who feel comfortable coming onto their backs, you want to lay on your side first and then roll over onto your back. Otherwise, you can put a lot of pressure on your abdomen and all those muscles that are already stretched to their max. So, and also those ladies that are postnatal, those muscles, while they're not now stretched, they were stretched, and we want to allow them to recover organically. So don't ever just lay flat on your back. You're going to come onto your side. And by the way, my hips are pretty close to the wall. I'm going to slide down and roll onto my back nice and easy. And I'm going to bring my feet on the wall, and I might have to scoot a little forward. And then I'm just going to extend upward. This is our final resting pose. You can stay here as long as you like, but it's great to recirculate and shift your circulation. You can add a flexion at the ankles and an extension. This acts like a pump to your lymph system. And you can also just relax here. Let's take one more breath here. When you're ready to come up, you'll bring your knees towards your chest, feet down the wall, and then my feet will come down to the floor, and I'll roll my body to the side. Coming up, I'm going to use my hands, pressing into the floor, and here I am. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Please take from it what works for you and leave what doesn't, and always do the things that feel most comfortable. Thanks so much.